What my goal is to help fuel the innovation ecosystem by telling your good stories. So I work for you. I'm definitely a service-oriented type of person. And if I can be helpful in any respect, I'm happy to do so. This presentation will give a little overview of some things I've done in the past, but there is no opportunity off limits in sharing the good news. So getting your message out, that's what I've titled the presentation today, because it is really important. As you know, once you have your idea, the next step is really, okay, how do you communicate that idea? And so there's a lot of different facets of communication. And there's a lot of opportunity for you to tell your story and for that to be amplified. And where I come in is helping you put your best foot forward and also amplifying your story. As Eric mentioned, I work for Tech Parks Arizona. I work on our communications for Tech Park at Rita Road, the Tech Park that we're building at 36th and Keno, as well as the growing empire of Center for Innovation. We got a lot of good news stories coming through here. And so if it's website, if it's email blast, if it's social media, if it's press releases, it's probably in my area. So where do we start with where I can help you, or where you can start to begin to understand how you get your message out? The first step is usually just getting on our website, and I need a logo and a one-sentence descriptor. And that is used for our website, but it also is used for a lot of other things. It's really the door opener. If press contact me and say, tell me what's going on at the incubator, who are some cool companies, I'm going to reference that list every time. So when I believe it's Sherry asks for that information, I am eagerly pestering her on the other end of that request. Okay, we need a logo, we need a one-sentence descriptor, and that should be an informative descriptor. It shouldn't be really markety. You can talk about what you do in a way that informs people and they can understand. That's the best. The second step is your basic web presence. If you have a website, if you don't have a website, I would suggest starting one. And there's a lot of different platforms. I'm sure Susan can help you if you're like, where do I start? I want to build a website. Also, social pages. And you don't have to be on every social platform, but if you choose, this is where I think our audience is, and this is where we're going to start, that's helpful, because as soon as you start building that web presence, then I can connect our website back to that, such as in our company description and our client list, and also in any social postings or newsletters, I can direct them back to you, which is going to be helpful. It also helps your search engine optimization. So when is it a good time to toot your horn? After you've set up your basic presence, I suggest tooting your own horn, and that can look like different forms, but when you hit major milestones, funding announcements, prestigious speaking engagements, major team announcements, if you've hired new team members to come on board, and any awards that you have. So that is a good time to start tooting your horn. And that can be in the form of press releases, just e-blast, that could be social posting. You don't have to do a press release for everything if that seems too cumbersome. Maybe on certain milestones, you put out social posts, or you ask me to put it into the newsletter. How I can help, as I mentioned, through the newsletter, social, through our website. I'm happy to review your announcement. You know, it was a pleasure working with Rosalind this past week, and I'm happy to do that for anybody. And I really feel like those of you who take the time to sit down and work up a press release, I am always going to give you my attention to see how we can make it better. And I ask for people to do that for me. So do not feel like if you see red lines that is any insult into what you write. It is always good to have an extra set of eyes, and they have a different lens. So for instance, when we were working together this week, Rosalind, we talked about the University of Arizona angle and also the local angle, because those are things that the news groups are going to pick up on. It might be a special interest, but it makes it more personal than just another announcement that the news sees or that people see in their inbox. And always, 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 Eric is our best commercial, as well as his kids and all the team members, but add that UACI component. So if you can say, located at the U of A Center for Innovation, or we're working through our prototype development with UACI mentors, any kind of component that you can add there, it ties us back into that, and that helps me amplify your message even stronger. Happy to talk to you about contact lists too. This is really important. I think as soon as you start your startup, that you start to think about, who are you going to send your announcements to? Stackhouse does a great e-blast. I'm sure others of you do too, but that is a way to keep people in the know of what's going on with you. And at the right time, that might open up a door of opportunity for you. I also have a lot of opportunities for media. I'm not promising media because that's always up to them, but we work really closely with Dave Wickner at the Arizona Daily Star. He loves to write tech columns and see the cool technology that's going on. And recently, the Vail Chamber has reached out to us to set up a schedule for startups that would present at the breakfast. And then the follow-up would be a Vail Voice article. And Vail Voice is the local publication that comes out monthly here in the Vail area. So that's a good opportunity for you to get some media or get some extra exposure. So why would you do all this? Why would you take the time? Because an enhanced web presence brings credibility. And here in this slide, I did a Google search for Copperhead Aeronautics, and you want to be at the top of your Google list, the information that you push out. And depending on your name and your technology, that can be a very crowded space, or it could be a very empty space. But what you want to do is you want to build an enhanced web presence, because when you're asking for funding or you're selling your product in the market, people are going to Google you. It's the #1 tool that people use to find out information. So let's make sure that your presence on the web brings credibility to your organization and cuts through some of the noise that's out there. And that can be done in a lot of ways. Here, there was a couple articles, also some grants that were posted, showed up on the gov sites. Anything with the .edu or .gov seems to get a lot of play in search engine optimization. So our website is .edu. So when we put your press release, it does get further reach on the search engine optimization. Here's a couple. Obviously, we're really excited. We just worked with Paramium, if I said that right. And
Paramium, you're good.
Paramium. Okay, awesome. The pleasure that I have is usually I'm always just reading lots of text, so I don't always have to pronounce it correctly, but I do help others. So thank you. This was really great because Rosalind wrote an excellent press release. It was published, and the timing worked out really well because we were able to make it our spotlight story for our newsletter. Oh, and also the University of Arizona College of Engineering picked up that story as well, and they put the spin to their angle, which was fantastic, and News 4 posted it on their website. So that's 3 different web presence URLs, original URLs that increases their it enhances their message because it increases their credibility. These are different people talking about them that helps when they seek investment. We often work with Biz Tucson. This is a image that we were able to do. It was a little spotlight. I love to take photos of our startups. As you will know, if you haven't got one of my crazy requests, it will be coming. I want to take your photo and I want to utilize it. And then I also want to be able to share it with you so you can use your photo as well, because sometimes we overlook the value of really strong imagery, because picture is worth 1,000 words, as you already know. So beyond the tech news, one of my favorite parts is to help encourage other entrepreneurs in their growth or see role models. So we had an opportunity at the Tech Park level to work with these wonderful folks. And for Black History Month, we spotlighted a few of our entrepreneurs. And for Women in the Tech Park, we were able to spotlight our woman entrepreneur. And we love to do these things. If you have ideas of how you would like new things, I'm open to all suggestions, but these are some of our ongoing campaigns, and each year we have new ones. So please reach out or throw your hat in the name if you see a note come through about people we're seeking to spotlight. Because I can't underestimate, or I can't restate it enough, how people need to see mentors or role models in what you do, because you work really hard and that sometimes does not get spotlighted, the work that you do. So please, I encourage you. Also, I will say I love testimonials. Whenever we have the opportunity to talk to you or you have something nice to say, I like to put that on our website. And that's just a shameless plug for myself. We support your message in any facet. So if it's connecting to the larger Tucson region, within the university, or within tech parks, those are our areas. And obviously we're growing internationally and making a lot of partnerships outside of the region. And I am a part of the team here, so I work on all those activities as well. So if you need any support in those realms, I'm here to help too. I think. And I want to stay connected. This is really important for us, is if you connect to our social media platforms, you can tag us in your posts, or you can sign up for our newsletters. You could see the content that's coming out about your fellow entrepreneurs, or you can say, I have a newsletter story, because when we see this, it's a reminder for ourselves, oh, I have something to contribute as well. So please connect with us that way. If you're not already getting our UACI newsletter, you should be. So perhaps sending a note to Eric or Sherry or myself. I'd like to do that. I know we have a couple new people, so you might not have been quite in the system yet, but I try to stay on top of that as best as possible. But we're growing by the minute. So right now, that's the end of my presentation.